Welcome to The Creative Present, a show that's dedicated to expanding your creative self-expression and at the same time, getting your projects done. And I'm your host, Joshua Townshend. We are doing a short series, a 4-part series on the creative element. And everyone has a creative element that's unique to you as your primary go-to. And the best way to check it out is to go to the website, my website, joshuatownshend.com, and take the free 2-minute quiz. And within a couple minutes, you'll know, or you'll have confirmed, your creative element. And it's going to be either water, fire, earth, or air. So let's get into the one that's all about you. And finally, air has arrived. You can feel the lightness in the room already, light and bright and flowing, and lots of ideas just zoom, zoom, zoom all around the room because air has arrived. Air is the very oxygen that we all need. We all need communication. We all need ideas. We all need things to move and to change and to be facile. And that is part of what air brings to everything. The most unique thing that makes air air, besides it being everywhere, if we didn't have air, if we didn't have oxygen, we wouldn't be on the planet. And air is literally everywhere on this planet. Air is the only element that cannot be seen. You cannot see air. You can only know air by the impact or what it causes to other objects or people or places or things. And you can know air by a felt sense. You can actually feel air on your body, but you cannot see it. And the only way you can encounter it visually is by the impact it makes on others. This is a huge, huge hint into what air is about, because air is all about ideas. It's about communication. It's about the space between myself and the other, as if there is the other. It's really about a connection between all people in all realms, and that's why air can be felt, but it can't be seen. It's like the truth, right? The logos. Logos needs to be felt. If you see it, it doesn't have the same impact. So for air, it's very important for you to start off with all of your glorious ideas, all the multitude of ideas that you have running through, and you love to like connect the dots and to see one over here and then another idea over there. And it is really a part of your creative process to let all that air, lots of flow, right? You want to be able to have all that flowing. And you want to be able to ride that air current, just like water has a current, air has a current. You want to be able to ride that current just like you see seagulls and birds. And then on another level, air is required for the transmission of unseen things, ideas, radio signals, communication of all sorts. And so air travels on that kind of frequency. The other thing that's important for air is air needs to, because it can't be seen on its own, it can only be known by the effect it causes, is to relate with the other elements. So when air relates with water, air can help move water. Air can help spread the water. In hurricane season, water and air element work together to create these incredible storms, which create a lot of change. We've already talked a little bit before in the fire element sequence about how important air is to fire. Air element must be present. It must be able to be consumed by fire. Otherwise, fire cannot exist. It's one of the things that fire needs to grow, fan the flames of fire, right, with air. Air helps Earth to travel through dust storms or whirlwinds, things of that nature. And it also helps to plant seeds. It also helps water element to cover more ground. So air has a very integral part in combining and connecting all of the other elements together. And the challenge for air is, of course, is being light and not appreciated and not seen and going in many directions all at once and never committing just to one thing. So that's the challenge area for air. What air needs in order to be its best in terms of the creative process is it needs a lot of space. Air must have space, both internal and external space. If air does not have enough space, it will feel very tight and confined. It'll start to create these microclimates. And while air may not always appreciate low ceilings, if air really needs to buckle down and do some serious focused work and concentration, it's a really good idea for air people to put themselves in a smaller space with lower ceilings so that they can actually focus. Because a focused air is fantastic, and it takes time for them to settle down to focus. But when they do, they really need to have undisturbed, no distractions. And when they can break through that, they can really go for a long, long period of time. So the takeaways for air are: be very aware that at first brush, even though you're appreciated, you're not always seen. And you are mostly known by the impact or the effect that you can make on others and in the environment. Say yes to your multitudes of ideas. Say yes to your multitudes of communication and being able to zip, zip, zip from one thing to the next and connect the dots. Say yes to all that. And at the same time, you want to be able to pick a project, focus on it, and really go deep. Some of the remedies for that is to work in a more enclosed space so that your air element has a chance to settle. I really appreciate you airs coming by because I know you have a multitude of things to do every single day. And if you prefer, you can always listen to this at a little faster speed so that can really help stimulate even more air. This is the fourth of a 4-part series on all the creative elements. Please listen to all the others because everyone interacts with each other beautifully and in different ways. And I hope you have a super fun and creative week. Thank you for listening. If you love what you're listening to, please subscribe and then share with fellow creatives. For more, go to joshuatownsend.com.